is missing.
Missing within this poem. She's lost in the sentences of this poem.
Only you can find her.
And whomever you find,
Make her your ally.
Once upon a time, the word of I, they were just me, an immigrant, a New Yorker, somebody's daughter, somebody's son. In between, there was my language, the way I speak. My language is the way I speak. Once upon a time, I had only my talents, my curiosity, my connection, my language, me.
February 26, 2012, Sanford, Florida.
Trayvon Martin's case, a story of renowned teens moved from local news stories to national headlines.
Martin was gunned down while wearing a hoodie and carrying a pack of Skittles. His death shone light on race, gun use, and standing ground laws across the country. The tragic killing of Trayvon Martin has captivated the nation.
In between,
Rachel Gentile, Trayvon Martin's friend.
A man was watching him.
Age 19, was on the phone with Martin just before he was fatally shot.
He said a man was watching him. He kept complaining that a man was just watching him. And then he said that N-word is still following me now. I asked him how the man looked like. He said the man looked creepy, white, excuse my language, cracker, creepy cracker. He said,
"Why are you following me for?"
and I heard a hard-breathing man say,
"What are you doing here?"
I heard a little bit of Trayvon saying,
Get off. June 6, 2013, Rashawn Ray.
Associate Professor of Sociology at University of Maryland.
Told the Huffington Post.
She's the closest thing we have to a voice from the grave. That's why her background and everything about her is so critical. Because she's not just a witness, she's his witness.
You gotta understand, you're the last person to talk to the person, and he died on the phone after you talked to him. You gotta understand what I'm trying to tell you. I was the last person. You don't know how it felt.
My concern is that the jurors are going to feel very alienated by her. They're going to feel like she is not like them, like she is different from them.
the way I speak, my language is the way I speak.
My concern is that the jurors may discount anything that would have helped the prosecution case and may associate her with Trayvon Martin.
She's lost in the
sentences.
And decide that he's not like one of their sons and that he is of some other world.
Once
and
upon
if
a
that
time
other
in the
world is
world
something
divide.
that they don't know about, and maybe it was appropriate for George Zimmerman to shoot him. That'd be a serious miscarriage of justice. That's the way the jurors came to that conclusion.
Make her your ally.
Once upon a time, I had my grandmother's story in the top of my head. I had my friend. Her story, her lies. I was snatched away from the truth. She wanted me to be someone else. Or was that it? She wanted me to be me. Me?
February 27, 2014, President Barack Obama.
That's why, in the aftermath of the Trayvon Martin verdict, with all the emotions and controversy that it sparked, I spoke about the need to bolster and reinforce our young men and give them the sense that their country cares about them and is willing to invest in them. And I'm grateful that Trayvon's parents, Sabrina and Tracy, are here with us today, along with Jordan Davis's parents, Lucy and Ron.
In my State of the Union address last month, I said I'd pick up the phone and reach out to Americans willing to help more young men of color facing especially tough odds to stay on track and reach their full potential. So America can reach its full potential. And that's what today's all about.
After months of conversation with a wide range of people, we pulled together private philanthropies, businesses, mayors, state and local leaders, faith leaders, nonprofits, all who are committed to creating more pathways to success. And we're committed to building on what works. And we call it My Brother's Keeper.
$200 million, My Brother's Keeper initiative.
I have my grandmother's story in the palm of my hand.
Somebody's daughter.
August 1st, 2014, Julian Hing.
Christy Dawson knows what it's like to have to do her homework on the back of cars because she doesn't have a home to go to after school's out.
I too have gone homeless.
She set up her youth in South Central Los Angeles. Today she's,
A professor of philosophy at Michigan State University.
but she said, voice shaking,
Even when you get out, there is no getting out.
On Tuesday night, Dotson, who's African American, and a dozen other girls and women of color testified about their experiences coming up in poor and disenfranchised Black and Latino neighborhoods
The event was the third of such hearings held around the country this year to lift up the experiences and struggles of girls of color.
Kimberly Crenshaw.
Professor of Law at Columbia University and UCLA, and the host of the evening's proceedings. This hearing was necessitated by the silence around girls of color.
I had my grandmother's story in the palm of my hand.
Somebody's daughter.
Too often, people settle for fallacies that suggest that girls and women of color suffer less than men of color do from racism. Girls experience some of the same things boys experience, and some things boys never dream of.
Our will to fight is there. In the soundless state of mind somewhere deep inside shows the truth.
But who is there to listen? The voices.
Where are they?
The support.
Where is it?
These women, Alicia Thomas and Erin Collins, weren't strong enough to fight back alone. They were in a world of their voices. The voices.
Where are
they? Support.
Where is it?
Our will to fight back
Has it gone?
We fell into a never-ending abyss without saying goodbye. Our family?
What about our family? Left with unanswered questions.
We are the women of color.
Michael Brown's parents.
Father, Michael Brown Sr.
They spoke to PBS's Charlie Rose on Wednesday, following the verdict not to indict Wilson, a white man, for killing an unarmed black son, August 9th.
My son was running for his life. And as his father has said before, he's had conversation with him about how to deal with the authorities if you're approached, which was to obey. If they ask you to do something, you do it. I believe that he asked my son to stop, and I believe that's what he did. He stopped, he turned around, and got on his knees like the officer asked him to.
I got my hands in the air.
Don't shoot.
Don't shoot.
Don't shoot!
I got my hands in the air.
Don't shoot.
Don't shoot.
Don't shoot!
I believe that he was shot close up, and I don't believe my son was lunging at him in any kind of way, because the way the bullet enters his body and the things that it was doing while it was inside his body as he was constantly shooting him, there was no way my son had any strength nor energy to lunge at him at all.
Make her your ally.
A voice. Eager. Ready. Not ready. Afraid. Scared. Eager to play the game where we sat in circles. Passing notes. Passing stories. Who will translate? Who will relate? I could. I could not. Relating is like a circle. It lets you relate back to me. I. November 13, 2014, Julian Hing.
After facing months of criticism for sidelining women and girls of color, and exclusively, the White House Free Support Wednesday aimed at letting women know they're important to racial justice too. I don't know. The stories, the histories, sometimes you hide the stories away from me. Be my friend. I am the story. I am the me that you were. I am the dream of we. Giggling, having so much fun that my body quivers. Like yellow, like excitement, with anticipation.
Snapping fingers at me gets you nowhere. Rolling eyes at you gets me nowhere. No screaming. That's what you said. So I poured it out. A story. Translated into my own language. Your language. Not your language. Not my language. Belonging to story.
Once upon a time, in the world of I, there was me. Me is the language of me. And I hope to pass me on.
Like a story.
Frankie, a boy, 22, was unarmed and shot by a police officer.
Ayana Jones, 7 years old, was shot by a Detroit police officer.
Hurley Golden, 93, shot by a cop.
Terica Wilson, 26, got shot by a police officer January 4, 2008.
Miriam Perry, age 34, was fatally shot in her own car.
Chantal Davis, age 23, also shot by police.
Taisha Miller, shot while unconscious in her own car by a police officer.
Kendra James, age 23, shot by a police officer.
Shelby Frey, age 27, an off-duty cop shot into her car with the children were there. Killer is process.
Kelly's Francis, age 12, hit by 4 police officers in her own house.
Shalina Weldon, killed by a police SUV in a car crash.
Adaisha Miller, gunned down by a police officer in her own car.
Denisha Harris died at 17, struck a bystander and was shot multiple times by a police officer.
Dolores Epps and Michaela Ross, both killed in a car accident by police officers.
Jacqueline Robinson Cole, a police car crashed into her BMW.
The Portia R. Watson, age 27, was hit and killed by a police SUV.
Melissa Williams, shot by a police officer November 29, 2012.
Karen Dick Jackson, 44 years old, shot during a shooting.
Heather Parker, 18, was hit by a police car.
The person in this poem is missing.
Missing within this poem.
She's lost in the
Sentences.
of this poem. Only you can find her.
And whomever you find,
Make her